What's up, y'all? Entertainment attorney Stephanie Hay here, and I went to South by Southwest 2024, so you didn't have to. Let's talk about the conversation at the conference about indie music distribution. I found this conversation to be helpful, and I wanted to join the conversation because I have so many clients that come all the time, and their major point of contention, whether they're an artist or a independent label, is identifying distribution. And of course, we all are familiar with the self-service distribution companies that are out there, like a DistroKid and things of that nature. But of course, everybody's looking for like some form of an elevated distribution arm. And what does that look like, and how can they help, and where are they, and all of these different kinds of questions. So this conversation really helped narrow that focus. And of course, I want to share some of the things that I think would be helpful for you all as you're navigating self-service distribution and what it looks like to elevate past that and get with a partner. Okay. So first, the running theme, honestly, and y'all are not gonna want to hear me say this, of the conversation was major labels are here to develop artists. These indie distribution companies, they're not looking to do any real development. They're looking for partners, and they're looking for business-minded partners. Artists who have already not only do they have a product, but they have a plan, they have a vision. They are marketing their materials already. They can show data-driven numbers from their Spotify's, from their different playlists, songs that were sold, songs that have been streamed. They have that information readily available or accessible, and it is showing a decent amount of numbers. Now, they didn't put any actual numbers for me to give you all, but it was very obvious that they want to see that this is not an artist that is in new development, that is still trying to find their footing. They have some form of a fan base. They can go on Spotify and see that they have a well-developed, Spotify page with music and traction that's getting ears, okay, that and eyeballs on their page. So that's what they're wanting to see if they're looking from an independent distribution perspective with partnering with an artist and not necessarily signing an artist to any particular label. Now, of course, you have your self-service, but when you start talking about moving into distribution and they're looking for partners, again, they're looking for business-minded people with visions and a marketing plan. And I stress this to clients all the time. Yes, I can help you with legal and we can do all those things, but just in general conversation, when we're talking, I always ask, like, okay, so what's the marketing plan here? What are we doing to take the product and actually push it out there? Every product has a marketing plan behind it, and music is no different. So what does your marketing plan look like, and what is your vision for the project? The distribution companies are looking for you to present a presentation that says, this is what my vision is. This is how I feel like I can market it. This is my target audience. Knowing those things and being able to present in a way that is clear, is concise, and it potentially aligns with what they do at their company. Not every distribution company distributes every genre of music. So you want to do your research there to determine, like, okay, what genre of music are they particularly invested in? Yes, you have your one-off projects, but primarily it's very evident, like, okay, this company only does country, or they do country and rock, or whatever it may be. So identifying what they do well, because they pride themselves in doing certain things well, and seeing if it's going to be a good fit for you as an artist, but also, are you all sharing that same vision, right? Can you all share that same audience vision and marketing vision to bring your project to life as you're trying to navigate which distribution company works best for you? Okay. Enjoying my content? I hope so. If so, hit that like button, share, and subscribe for more. Next, we have the individual artist with a team versus the label who has artists. Now, I thought this was an interesting conversation simply because you are seeing a lot of artists sign with what I would consider independent labels. What some of these distribution companies are saying, like, we're not really a fan of working with the independent label that has artists and is looking for somebody to just put out the music on their behalf. They're looking at that more of self-service. They're looking to pair up with an artist who is an independent artist but has a solid team, has a solid manager, has an attorney, may have have somebody helps with promotion and things like that, but has a solid, knowledgeable team behind them that they can work with to help put the product out there, but not necessarily working with a label, an independent label that has a roster of talent or, people that they quote unquote sign, and now they're looking to get distribution out there for them. So it may not in the indie space be beneficial for you as an artist to sign with the independent label that does not already have established distribution. And I know a lot of y'all not gonna hear me say that, but it's the truth. Who does not have already established distribution or a track record of putting out music. If that is the case, it may be most beneficial for you to potentially partner, maybe use them as an investor of some sort, but stay independent until you can get a distribution company, because that's what you're missing as an independent artist. The distribution arm that they may be able to help execute your marketing vision and things of that nature. That's where the distribution company steps up from just being self-service like your CD Babies and DistroKids of the world to really being a partner in you being able to now execute this plan. Now, of course, if you're an independent label and you have, the vision for the audience, you have the marketing department, and you have the distribution arm, then it may be a good fit. But balance out what makes sense for you as an artist to see if it's most beneficial to sign with the independent label or wait to find a distribution company that can really do the same thing, and you kind of avoid, honestly, that middleman and what that looks like from a relationship perspective, and also when it comes down to cutting the check for the money. Okay. So also research the distribution team or the distribution company to figure out which company works. Festivals like this are a good place to find distribution companies that you may not have ever even heard of. Being able to research them and figure out which company works best. There are tons of them out there, but with so much noise out there, this is a good place to be able to really hone in on some of the companies that are out there and specifically identify and research them independently on your own to figure out, is this a company that I'm aspiring to partner with in the future once I'm able to, show traction with my own music. Also, knowing what you need. They want to know, do you even know what you need as an artist to be successful? And honestly, that takes time. And so with that time, you being able to develop and say, these are the resources I need, whether it's from radio promotion, an investment in your music, things like that, marketing. What is it that specifically that you need as an artist? Because sometimes those things can be conflicting. And while they may love you as an artist, it may not be a good match because they cannot provide what you need, what your expectations of what they should be able to provide versus what they're looking to provide is going to be different. And they made it very clear. They say no more than they say yes. And that's simply too because we may not be on the same page as far as what setting expectations of what can be provided, and also understanding what your needs are and being clear that, okay, we see your need, we're on the same page about what your needs are, and these are the things that we can do to satisfy those needs. Okay. So be clear, create a plan, make a vision, and start putting out your music and doing what you need to do independently before you start approaching these companies, because honestly, they're looking at the data in order to see if it's going to be a good partnership. That is a buzzword now in the industry, partnership. And if you are truly looking for a partner, you have to be able to bring something to the table, and they're wanting to see, as far as what you're bringing to the table, what have you done independently that has gotten these eyeballs on your project, that's gotten your music out there, and then how can we help to elevate that. But the groundwork, honestly, they're not looking and not interested in participating at that level, and maybe a major label is a better fit for you before over doing independent. Okay, so take those things into consideration. I hope it helps, and you have a great day. Bye. Want to know more about any of the topics I've discussed? Leave a question in the comments.